Hi Whovians, Harry here, and we are now fully into Doctor Who season, with the second episode of Doctor Who Season 2, the episode Lux, recently just aired, and this episode was crazy. And in this video, I'm just going to be going over my thoughts about this episode. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe, also leave a like and comment down below, and let's get in to the video. So, first of all, the plot of Lux basically revolves around the Doctor and Belinda trying to get back to the 24th of May 2025. However, they can't get there, so they land in 1950s Miami. And then basically they realise that something has been going on with the cinema, and the God of Light, Lux, the titular title character of this episode, basically has inhabited this cartoon character, Mr. Ring-a-Ding, and he has trapped 15 people, in, film, and he is planning on, feasting off the energy of these films, off the light of the film projector, and then wreaking his havoc across the universe. And, of course, the Doctor and Belinda find this and have to stop him, but already it's just a silly, yet how it is executed and in the plot is so creepy as well. It's silly that a cartoon character comes to life, but it's so creepy how he sees beyond the screen. Like the way when he first comes to life, like the light of the full moon of Lux shines down on him through the projector and brings him to life, and he just starts talking to the people in the audience, and the way that he claws out of the screen is just so creepy. I wish they went more into it, like Lux saw beyond even that screen and saw the audience, like us watching it, and if he got the full power, he would have been able to break out into the real world. But yeah, it's just so cool and so creepy that the way that is really a silly concept, like a cartoon come to life. Yeah, it's so, him seeing beyond his universe is just so creepy. And the way that, really, I think he's carried off better than the other Pantheon of Gods that we've seen. He's better than the Toymaker, Maestro, and Sutek as well. Just how he goes about his mission. Because, yes, it's not as big as the stuff that the Toymaker, Maestro, and Sutek have pulled off, because really he doesn't exit out of the cinema, but the way that he manipulates and controls people to eventually reveal his plan is just so, it's executed so well, because the Doctor does defeat the Toymaker and Sutek with hardly any help, because even though it's two Doctors that defeated the Toymaker, the Doctor did defeat the Toymaker. But in this episode, the Doctor is basically powerless to defeat Lux, because Lux uses the Doctor's regeneration energy from him to build him a new body, to become a more than just a two-dimensional cartoon character. He becomes computer-generated, 3D generated. He becomes the modern animation style, a modern animation style then, rather than the 1950s animation style. And he builds and grows through this, and the Doctor is powerless to stop him, and it is really up to Belinda and Mr. Pye, who runs the cinema, to defeat Lux and free the Doctor, and then for him to defeat Lux. But without Belinda, without Mr. Pye, the Doctor would have lost to Lux. So Lux was a really powerful villain, despite being a cartoon character this whole time. And the way Alan Cumming just manages to convey so much emotion through a cartoon character is a testament to his acting. Because, of course, he is only playing a voice role, yet the menacingness when he is, coming out through the computer screen, or when he has trapped the Doctor, is just so menacing the laugh of the Giggle is such a... I didn't know that, because throughout the episode, early in the episode, Mr. Ringerding has repeatedly said, "Don't make me laugh," and the drop that his laugh is the Giggle is just amazing. I didn't see it coming, to be fair, but the Doctor eventually finds that out, and the way that he is just so scared of Mr. Ringerding, like he has been with the other Pantheon of Gods in the previous season, it is just amazing that they can convey that terror from a cartoon character. Well, like, they are terrified of a cartoon character. And I think it is a testament to Alan Cumming and, of course, the people who animated Mr. Ringerding in this episode, that he is so menacing, he is so terrifying, yet he can be silly and goofy as well when the episode just needs a bit of levity to it. So it is amazing how they can do that all through, and I think it is a testament to Alan Cumming's acting that he can convey the whole range of emotion in a cartoon character in just a voice role, and also the animators who made Mr. Ringerding as well. But, of course, speaking of characters that I am impressed with, I am still impressed with the Doctor and Belinda, of course, because something that I was a bit concerned about is Belinda just gonna be straight on board with the Doctor's travels from episode 2, and I wanted it to last a bit longer into the series. And even though they land on 1950s Miami, and Belinda wants to, like, kind of want to go out and see, and they even get, like, dressed into 1950s, like, clothes, a bit like, well, it is basically a rip from the Devil's Chord scene where the Doctor and Ruby get dressed into 1960s English clothes to go out and see the Beatles. Yeah, it's basically the same thing for the Doctor and Belinda in this series. However, they only go out into 1950s Miami because the Doctor says that they need to land so that they can have, like, this fishing line back to present-day Earth. And Belinda, as soon as the machine has done, Belinda wants to just go straight away. Like, no looking into this haunted cinema, no looking around just Miami having a good time. She wants to go straight away. And that is amazing that she isn't just fully on board with the travels of the Doctor. The Doctor's charm has not worked on her, even though you can see as well in this episode he is trying. Eventually, of course, he does get his way, because Belinda is a very caring person. We saw that in the previous episode, and it is shown again in this episode as well. Because especially when she sees the 15 people that Mr. Ringerding has kind of kidnapped, she is like, you let them go immediately. So it is obviously showing that she is a caring person, and she wants these 15 people to be alright as well. So the Doctor gets his way, and we do get this, of course, adventure with the Doctor and Belinda. However, she, of course, has doubts about him as a person as well, which is just great to see. Especially as the fact that in 1950s Miami, there was still segregation between white people and black people. And I like how this is brought up in the episode, that for the Doctor and Belinda isn't really a safe time for them, because, of course, of the segregation between white people and black people. So I like how that's integrated in the episode, and the Doctor just has to move past it, and he goes, we see where we are now in the present day. People eventually realise their errors of their way, and they topple their own society. The Doctor goes, sometimes I have to topple other people's societies, like potentially Miss Belinda Chandra 1 in the previous episode, The Robot Revolution, which I did a review of, and that will be up in the cards above. So check that video out if you haven't already. But sometimes he waits for people to topple their own world, of course, being that, of course, segregation, thankfully, is no longer a thing. But, of course, Belinda has this concern with that he can just effortlessly go from one time to another without seemingly any hang-ups or, like, really feeling anything other than just they need to get on with this job that he wants to do. So I think that is great. But thankfully, a lot of the people are nice. They don't get too hung up on this, that really, for an episode about a god, the episode needs to be about a god, because remember, this is just one episode, one 45-minute episode, whereas Sutek and the Toymaker had much longer to flesh out their character and their goal in Doctor Who. But I think it is a testament to how good Lux is as a god, that he is the most threatening god I think that the Doctor has gone against, even though we have had 3 other gods in the past year. So, of course, going on past that, the Doctor and Belinda, of course, still great, and really, it's kind of weird that the Doctor... I do just want to say that the Doctor now seemingly has healing powers from bi-generation, that he can just heal wounds because of the bi-generation. I think that's what they were trying to imply in the first episode of Season 1, Space Babies, when the Doctor manages to bring the butterfly back to life, like he has extra healing because of the bi-generation. I think that's what they were trying to imply. I might be wrong, but the fact that the Doctor is even more powerful because he has opened himself up due to the bi-generation, that he just has extra healing powers. However, Lux uses that against him, and to grow into this 3D computer-generated image and to wreak his havoc across the world, he actually uses the Doctor's regeneration power to do that. And as I said, the Doctor is helpless to stop that. But with Belinda, and of course Mr. Pie helping him, he manages to break free of Lux. And of course Mr. Pie is a great side character as well. And the fact that he is actually helping Lux is actually because Lux was kind to him. Lux gave him his wife back. Mr. Pie is just a normal, regular guy. And more than anything, he doesn't want world domination, he doesn't want money, he doesn't want power. He just wants to see his wife again. And that hits hard, and Lux gave him that. Because the Doctor literally calls Mr. Ring-a-Ding Lux real, and Mr. Pie uses that against him. He says, if that thing, that cartoon character is alive, then don't tell me that she isn't alive, okay? I know that she is dead, but he gave her back. So the fact that Lux isn't even massively evil, that he can actually be kind to certain people. Yes, it's manipulative, but really, all Mr. Pie wants is his wife back. And Lux gave him that. He can finally live out the days that he wanted to, that he never got to live with his wife. And that is highly emotional as well. It does really feel, well, hit you in the feels. It is emotional that he just wants to be with his wife. And his wife is a good person, even though maybe she is just a, made by Lux. She says to Mr. Pie, gives him the matches, saying that this is the way to destroy Lux. You light all of the films on fire, so he can no longer feast on the light, so the Doctor and Belinda can eventually defeat him. And it's just amazing to see that play out. That Mr. Pie and his wife just do the right thing, even if it does not benefit them, even if it is actively going against what they want. And that just is amazing. And another brave another brave group of people are the companions, or the fans, the Doctor Who fans. I never get to talk about Doctor Who fans in my review, but yes, there are fans of the show when the Doctor and Belinda have been captured by Lux in a cartoon, which, side note, they break free of that cartoon way too quickly, unfortunately, and then it's like a cartoon, and then they're like trapped in a film, where they break, eventually they think they break free for the third time over, and then they meet Doctor Who fans, and I think these fans are an amalgamation of some Doctor Who YouTubers. I don't want to say who I think it is, because in case I'm wrong, and I don't want to put any, what I think of Doctor Who YouTubers, other Doctor Who YouTubers on the spot. So, but I do think there are some little, bits that they have taken from certain Doctor Who YouTubers and put them into these Doctor Who fans. Anyway, but they are watching the Doctor, and the Doctor and Belinda like step into their living room, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're the Doctor!" And they're acting, of course, really excited. I did think at the start, were they making fun of Doctor Who fans a bit? But I think it does pay off eventually, as they are shown to be incredibly caring and intelligent as well. They show the Doctor Who fans in that light. So I'll allow it. They eventually step into the living room, the Doctor and Belinda, of these fans, and they are so excited to see them. However, of course, they do have some criticism of them first, because their favourite episode, all three of them, is Blink. And really, I like Blink too, but there are other episodes I thought that they would have their own different episode, like Heaven Sent. Why isn't that an episode that is their favourite? Or The Day of the Doctor, I think that is incredibly amazing too. And I will just, so potential spoilers, so skip to this time card if you don't want potential spoilers, but also Midnight. And I say why it could be potential spoilers because it is rumoured that episode 3, the next episode is a Midnight sequel, so that's why. But why wasn't one of those episodes part of one of the fans' favourites? Why didn't they have different episodes? It's all Blink, but it is funny that the Doctor is trying to say, I've had these other adventures, and they're just not having it. So that is funny, and the fact that at first it feels like the Doctor's adventures are not real, and then it says that actually the fans are not real, and they're just traps that Lux has created for the Doctor and Belinda. However, they are smarter than Lux, and they feel through it. They say to the Doctor that they hint at him at a way to stop Lux, and that's when the Doctor really solves how to stop Lux, and they push the Doctor and Belinda, you need to escape, you need to go, we are not real, but we can help you. And it's just an amazing sentiment as well. And the music that swells up, that when they are telling the Doctor and Belinda that they need to go, it's just so emotional. It makes the scene so much better. Murray Gold, again, you are on fire. The emotion winds up as the Doctor and Belinda leave them, and when they leave them, to the Doctor and Belinda, they vanish out of existence. However, we do have a post-credit scene where they are still alive. They are still watching the Doctor's episode. So, is the Doctor's world actually made up? Or is the Doctor Who fans' world made up? We're getting worlds inside worlds inside worlds. But I like how they kind of leave it open-ended. We don't know whether the Doctor's existence is made up or whether the Doctor's fans' existence is made up. And I think that is a great sentiment that doesn't, leave... this is something that I like is left ambiguous. But yes, the Doctor and Belinda break free, and they manage to defeat Lux by giving him what he wants. They give him light, too much that he can no longer sustain his own existence. And really, the Doctor defeats him by Lux being everywhere. He grows so big and so powerful that he is like an actual god, omnipresent, omnipotent, just everywhere. And also, no one can see him though. So I think that is great, that he has really grown into a more powerful god, but nowhere where he can actually harm anyone. So I think that is great. And, of course, I couldn't leave this video without talking about Mrs. Flood. She appears when the Doctor and Belinda leave 1950s Miami, saying to the people that he helped, look over there if you want to see a real show. However, a limited run, only to the 24th of May 2025, because is that when Mrs. Flood unleashes her plan. But that is just my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this episode. I thought it was really great. To give a rating on this episode, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yes, this episode was so good. I do. My only concern is that it is a bit too lore heavy and confusion for casual fans, because like people like that I discussed the episode with, like casual fans like my family, they didn't know what Lux was. They didn't know like what Mr. Ringerding was, like whether it was important that whatever he was, whether he was like a clown or a pig man. I got both of those, but I don't know like what people thought he was, and they thought, is that important or not? What is this Pantheon of Gods? It's not really clearly explained. Also, how does defeating him by giving him the stuff he wants, how does that work? And why is Mrs. Flood also in 1950s Miami? So I think that this episode is a bit too impenetrable for casual fans. But as a fan, a hardcore fan, I think they will really like. You will really like this episode if you are a hardcore fan. However, if you're a casual fan, you might be a bit confused by what is happening. But that's just what I've heard. That is my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. Also subscribe and share it out. I will see you in the next one.